Hi, my name is Nathan Mills. The person that I'll be interviewing today is Chuck Said. He has been living in Reno since 1970. He came here as a Vista volunteer to be a lawyer for legal services. He was on the board of regional planning for 10 years. I believe Mr. Zay is a good person to interview about the change in Reno over the years, as he is very informed about the community and how it's changed over time. Mr. Zay. Thank you for letting me interview you today. But in my introduction, I talked about how you came here with Vista to be a lawyer for legal services. So, to some of our viewers who don't know what Vista is, can you explain it to them?
Sure. Vista stands for Volunteers in Service to America, and it was the Domestic Peace Corps created by President Lyndon Johnson. President Kennedy before him created the Peace Corps, and President Johnson thought he should do something along those lines, so he came up with the Vista program, Volunteers in Service to America. My first night in Reno was spent in a cold, one-room, drafty, windy shack in Black Springs, Nevada, actually just north of Reno.
Wow. Okay, thanks. Okay. What's the Reno area like when you first moved here compared to what it's like today?
Well, it was much smaller, maybe like half the size or a third the size, and in those days, gaming was much more predominant in the economy than it is now, and Bill Harrah was still alive, and he owned Harrah's, and he was one of the premier gaming operators in the world, and he had a fabulous facility, and every week there were headliners there, and also John Squagus Nugget. But in those days, we didn't have the Atlantis, we didn't have the Peppermill, places like that either.
Okay, thank
The other change is we have a transition in our economy away from the reliance on gaming to other things, and that's been brought about by the other major change around here, and that's the advent of Indian gaming in California. Those people that are used to come over here no longer come here, or come here less frequently because they have rather large and magnificent tribal gaming facilities that are here between San Francisco and Reno. Up here in northern Nevada, the difference is Las Vegas has become such a dominant destination resort that they've kind of can overcome the advent of tribal gaming, but we haven't been able to do that here.
Yeah. Okay. So this is a two-part question. What were the main projects or initiatives undertaken during your time on the board of the Planning Commission, and have those projects been completed, or are they still underway today?
Okay, well, I was chairman of the Reno Planning Commission and also the Regional Planning Commission. The Regional Planning Commission controls growth and development and directs it for the entire region, and of course the Reno Planning Commission is concerned with what growth goes on and where projects are to be located, how fast the area is supposed to grow in the city of Reno. The projects that I recall, one being the Double Diamond Ranch, another being the development in the McQueen area up along Mayan, and none of that was there when we first started considering projects up there. And then there's the Somerset project, which is behind McQueen and up in that area. And then we have the Silver Legacy, and we have the as I said before, the Peppermill, and then the Atlantis, the expansion of the Atlantis and the expansion of the Peppermill were all sort of on my watch as chairman of the Reno Planning Commission, and similarly the Silver Legacy. In addition, I guess the other biggest project would have been the 10-year update of the regional plan, which was a major undertaking. The regional plan is the plan by which which help locate and direct and growth and development in the entire region, which under the regional plan for our area is Washoe County. Now, what has been completed? Well, Double Diamond is still a work in progress, as you know, because you can see open space down there. McQueen is pretty much built out. Somerset is still a work in progress. People are still building there. The regional plan is always a work in progress because it's a living document, a living, breathing document, and then you can see the Peppermill, and you can see the Silver Legacy, and you can see the Atlantis.
Okay. Overall, how has the environment changed since you've been here?
And so I would have to say we're still a high mountain desert climate, so we're still arid, but it seemed to me, and this is just anecdotally, because I haven't done a comprehensive study, when I first came here, it was much cooler in the winter and much more snow than there is now. We've gone through a drought the last 4 years, so I would have to say it used to be colder in the winter and wetter in the fall and more snow in the winter than there is now. It was still warm in the summer and clear and sunny and all of that, and now it's much drier.
Okay.
Cooler in the winter, more snow in the winter, more rain in the fall, more rain in the spring. The Lake Tahoe was more full of water because of the runoff, and as compared to now, where even though we have an El Nino, we're still in a drought condition. So drier now and warmer. Still a beautiful area to live in. Still a beautiful climate. Still a beautiful place. It's just a little drier.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. Okay. Was there much undeveloped land when you first came here? Like, I'm assuming there was, but
Double Diamond was fields, agricultural primarily, large farms and ranches, and there still are some out there. Somerset was open space, and now there are houses there, but they're in the process. It's still a build out. And as I said, McQueen, there was nothing up there to speak of, and now it's almost built out.
what about the Collin Ranch area?
Collin Ranch area is another one that has been built out since the middle 80s to now.
Okay. So, what changes do you think have made the greatest impact on the Reno metropolitan area over time?
Well, obviously growth would be number one. As I said, we're 2 to 3 times bigger than we were when I first came here, and so there's just more people and taking up more space, number one. And then the other is the advent of Indian gaming, which has had a significant impact on the gaming industry here, and as a result we've been transitioning away, whether we want to or not, from an economy based primarily on gaming to a more diverse economy.
What do you think about more businesses such as like Apple, Switch, Tesla moving here?
Well, of course, the verdict is still out because they're simply in their infancy, but if they do what they say they're going to do, the impact would be enormous, both in terms of population as well, and by that I mean the number of people, as well as a different kind of person moving in here, because the jobs are not going to be minimum wage jobs, but going to be very high paying jobs. So I think that on balance, if they do what they say and bring in the high paying jobs, it could have an enormously positive impact on the area.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what was Reno's environment, climate?